Now we'll talk about the observer pattern, and this pattern lets you work with subjects and observers, and the idea is that you can register. In other words, an observer object can register with a subject object and get notified when events happen in the subject object. So the idea is that you have a lot of observer objects and a subject and object, and the observers can register with a subject. When they do, they'll be notified when events occur. Let's take a look at an example in the Java programming language. Right now, for example, this is an example that uses swing in Java, and the idea here is that we're going to have a button and a text field and set up the flow layout and so forth, and this is just going to add the button and the text field to the window so it's observable. Okay, so now you have a button and a text field, and the question is, how can you make sure when the user clicks a button that text is displayed in the text field? That's the question, and this is one of the many places where Java uses the observer pattern, and the way you do this is you use the button's add action listener method, and that is going to add an action listener register. In other words, it's going to register an observer with the button, and when the button is clicked, the observer, which is the action listener in this case, will be notified. So that's the way it works with the observer pattern. It's an example in Java, is that you can register observers with the subject, and so the subject here is the button, and the action listener is going to be the observer. When the button is clicked, the observer is notified, and what happens is that this action perform method is called and it's passed an action event object, and in that action performed method you can set the text field's text to good job. So that's an example of using the observer design pattern. The idea is that you register an observer with a subject, and when the subject has an event or something going on, it can notify the observer, as it does here in the action performed method, and then you can perform some action such as setting the text inside the text field to the text good job. That's one example of using the observer design pattern in Java. Let's take a look next at the observer design pattern in overview and then get into some good examples.